Hello everyone, this is Narrator Pony. Welcome to my very first State of the Channel address. You'll have to forgive me, I'm just wrapping up a long day of recording and my voice is getting pretty scratchy by now, but hopefully you guys won't mind too much. It's hard to believe I've been doing MLP fanfiction readings for a whole year now. Where does the time go? But in all that time, I've never taken the opportunity to address you, my wonderful, wonderful subscribers. But I'm given to understand that that's a thing YouTube personalities do from time to time. And as they say in Rome, when in Rome, as they say, wow, I messed that up. So let me start by thanking you. Yes, you. If you are hearing the sound of my voice right now, that most likely means that you've hit the subscribe button at some point in the past year, and for that, you have my eternal gratitude. I know that I'm just a tiny little itty-bitty baby in the world of MLP fanfiction reading, and I'm not as popular as the big names like Scribbler or Dr. Wolf or The Lost Narrator and so on, but I like to think that my subscribers are the cream of the crop, as it were, the most refined, the most discriminating subscribers in all the MLP fandom. So from the very bottom of my heart, thank you. You are the reason I work so hard to bring you MLP audio content, and if you are a subscriber of mine, then you clearly have impeccable taste. Next order of business. As I said before, I'm immensely grateful to each and every one of you. That said, I'd like to offer some extra special thanks to a few cool ponies that have helped me along the way. First up, Present Perfect, / Takewalker. For those of you who don't know him somehow, Present Perfect does story reviews over on filmfiction.net, and for some time now I've been deciding which stories I want to make into dramatic readings based pretty much exclusively on his recommendations. He also consistently gives me a little signal boost whenever I put out a reading. Not just me by any means, but pretty much any time a reader does a story that he's reviewed in the past, he'll make a mention of it. And since I pretty much only record stories that he's reviewed in the past, I tend to show up there quite a lot. But with the crazy life I lead, I just don't have time to sit down and sift through the mountains of fics that are published every day. I need someone to help me separate the wheat from the chaff, as it were. So I think the service that Present Perfect provides to both me, personally, and the fandom as a whole is absolutely invaluable. And for that reason, I'm immensely grateful. He's an amazing writer, his stories are all terrific, and he's quite a good fanfic reader in his own right. He has a channel of his own, do check him out. He does have a Patreon, and I do support him there. Just a pittance, really, because I am poor and Irish, but every little bit helps, as I say. Next up, Scribbler and Ilya Leonov. In equal parts, these two individuals are the ones who inspired me to try my hand at fic reading. Shortly after I joined the fandom, I stumbled across a few fic readings from these two, and I was absolutely blown away by the quality. Not only of the stories themselves, but also the quality of the production. And it really kind of opened my eyes to MLP fanfiction as a whole. It wasn't something I'd considered at all in the past. I recently had the opportunity to collaborate with both of these individuals, which is pretty much a dream come true for me. Scribbler is, without a doubt, the hardest working mayor in show business. She always just has a ton of stuff on her plate. It's become kind of a running joke among fic readers that Scribbler's collaboration document that she has, a Google Doc, is so immense that it will literally crash your computer if you open it. Not kidding. But even still, she finds the time to lend her voice to my stupid little projects, just because she's awesome like that. And then Ilya Leonov. If you're not subscribed to him, then what are you even doing with your life? He has the voice of a god, his readings are all top tier, his poetry is literally amazing. Make no mistake, Ilya Leonov is who I aspire to be. And we may have a new collaboration project coming up, Ilya and I, so stay tuned for that. And one more quick note, Ilya Leonov is my man crush. Next up, Grand Moff Pony. Long time friend of the show. Shortly after I started my channel, he contacted me to ask if I would read his story. Actually, a chapter of a story he guest wrote for Rated Pony Star. It turned out to be terrific. So I was happy to do it, and I thought it turned out really well. And so I thought if I did one chapter, I better do the rest of them. And so I spent the next month and change reading and producing Rated Pony Star's Aftermath of a Fallen Star. And it was a great little long fic. to sort of cut my teeth on and earn my chops as a fic reader. I definitely made my share of mistakes during the process, but I also learned a lot from the experience. And ever since, Grand Moff has been keeping an eye open for me for any VA opportunities that crop up, and making sure I know about them, and just kind of generally being a cheerleader for me when I put out a new fic reading and stuff, and just kind of being a all-around classy dude. Thanks, bro. And lastly, I wanted to take a minute to thank a couple of particularly outstanding extra special subscribers. First up, WolfX1120. I have a feeling you've seen this guy around. This guy really, really likes MLP audio books. Every single video I've done, and every single video of every other MLP narrator he's made a comment on. Like seriously, I'll upload a reading, and it'll be like 15 minutes long, and 15 minutes and 30 seconds later I'll have a comment from WolfX1120. I don't know how he does it, it's like magic. And he also taught me how to brohoof, yeah. I didn't know what that was before. Hard to believe, but there you go. And next, Kragon42. Same thing. I think he's listened to every one of my videos on my channel and left a nice, thoughtful comment on every one. I know how tough it is to find the time to comment on videos, and I'm very ashamed to say that I'm not very good about remembering to leave comments when I listen to other people's work. But anytime somebody takes the time to tell me what they think about a reading, it really does, like, make my whole day. So, Kragon42, to you, I give you my thanks. Now, a few programming notes, and it's kind of good news and bad news, I suppose. I have an audiobook deal. Yeah, not an MLP fanfiction, like an actual published book, which I stand to make actual money from, which is a big deal. My voice acting career so far has netted me something like a total of $35, and so this is pretty exciting from my perspective. Now, I'm not the first MLP narrator to turn pro. Both Goombasa and Ilya Leonov also have published audiobooks, and in fact, Goombasa / Goomba Guy in particular, I owe a big thanks for kind of showing me the ropes and answering my questions and helping me get up on my feet. I'll admit the author of the book I'm doing is not someone I had heard of before I took the job, but after learning about them a little bit, I can say that I'm very, very excited to be working with this individual. So that's the good news, and I hope you'll share this moment of happiness with me. And now for the bad news. There's no way around it, really. This book is a huge undertaking, and it's longer than any of the other fics I've ever done in the past, and I'm on a deadline. This will mean that I'm not able to put out as many MLP fic readings for my channel. Sorry. I'm going to try to put out as much as I can, but do expect my output here to at least drop significantly. But this is an opportunity that is just too good to pass up. You may not know this about me, but I work IT for a day job, and I don't particularly like it very much. So if there's even a small chance that I could someday quit this crappy job of mine and just work from home and talk to my computer all day, I mean, that would pretty much be the best thing ever. So I'll be putting out less stuff, but hopefully you won't. I don't think you guys will miss me too much, hopefully, right? If you're really starving for MLP audio content, I recently updated my YouTube page, and there you can find both a list of all my awesome narrator friends and also a list of my favorite readings by others. So hopefully that will tide you over. The current book I'm doing won't be done until sometime in February, I think, and the author and I are already in talks for the other 2 books in the series too. Yeah, but I'll talk more about the book once it's done, but that's still a few months off, I think. Okay, one last order of business. I'm gonna try to make a habit of doing these state of the channel addresses, and I thought it'd be good to highlight another MLP narrator each time I do. And for this one, I have chosen a reader named ShadowOfCygnus. He's actually been doing fic readings for longer than I have, but I admit that I hadn't heard of him until recently. But turns out he's a classy dude, and he does really, really good stuff. He's got a real nice, bassy, British voice, very pleasing to the ear, I think you'll find. And he has really, really good taste in fics, which I think is actually a really important part of being a good fic reader, is just starting with good content. And that's something he really excels at. He's done a lot of readings by Admiral Biscuit, who I guess I've heard of before. I guess I'd read some stuff of his beforehand. but after listening to ShadowOfCygnus's readings of them, I have a whole new appreciation for Admiral Biscuit, and he is now definitely one of my favorite writers on FimFiction, without a doubt. So I have 3 fic readings I'd like to recommend from ShadowOfCygnus. I'll put these in the description below, but you can also find them in my playlist I have on my channel titled Favorite Readings by Others. And so the 3 fics I'd like to recommend are Sam and Rose by Admiral Biscuit, Insecurities by Shaksa, and lastly a long fic called Atran, written by C.T. Vulpin. Hope I'm saying that right. That last one comes with a caveat that if you did not play Myst, the video game Myst from 1993, you probably wouldn't get a whole lot out of it. But Myst was one of my favorite games growing up as a kid, and I thought it was absolutely terrific. And if you like Myst and you like MLP, you need to listen to this. The amount of time and effort that ShadowOfCygnus went through to collect all the sounds from the video game and put them all in the reading, you can tell it was a labor of love, and it really shows. It's really terrific. So yeah, ShadowOfCygnus, go give him a listen. Alright everyone, so I did my best to keep this short, and I did my best to avoid sounding like a pompous ass. It was my first State of the Channel address, but hopefully it won't be my last. Thank you so much for listening, thank you for subscribing, and until next time, stay classy, Ponyville.